either saw LeBron James' final playoff series in his career or his final playoff series as a Laker. After getting swept by the Denver Nuggets yesterday, there's been conversations about retirement coming up.
I got a lot to think about, to be honest.
Which honestly, I don't think will happen. I don't see LeBron James playing 20 years worth of basketball, being 2 years away from playing with this kid, which he said multiple times would be better than winning a championship, and he said is his dream in the NBA. I don't see him dropping that because he got swept by the Nuggets. I do see him not playing with the Lakers anymore. I see him maybe going to a team where he feels like maybe he's more of a contender. Maybe he can win another ring, at least until Bronny James joins the league. But I don't think retirement is this big thing that everyone's going to make it out to be. This news just broke about 5 minutes ago. Maybe by the time this video comes out, the news has really either exploded or has died down more. But yeah, in my personal opinion, I don't see LeBron James retiring, but maybe his final year as a Laker, because even though they got swept by the Nuggets, you have to give them credit for what they went through this year. Going from a terrible team that had players on their roster who didn't want to be there or didn't feel welcomed or really accepted there.
Keep having fun, bro. Win, lose, or draw, have fun. Just keep having fun, bro.
To then having a really good trade deadline where they got Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell we don't really have to talk about, but going from being in the lottery where everyone was saying that the Pelicans were going to get their pick and that they were just wasting a season, to then going to the play-in, beating the Timberwolves, which to be honest, I saw the Timberwolves taking that game. They did not back down. I mean, I thought we were going to see a Lakers versus Nuggets first round. That's how I thought it was going to go, but the Lakers just didn't do that. They proved me and many others wrong. But when it comes to the Grizzlies series, I honestly feel a little bit weird about it. Like, I don't want to sit here and say that Steven Adams would be an X factor for them, but with the way Anthony Davis was playing, where he was kind of doing good every now and then, I feel like maybe Steven Adams would have been a huge factor. I feel like he would have been a huge boost for the Grizzlies. I think you have John Morant, who ended up going down with some sort of hand type injury. I can't remember if it was his wrist or thumb, but John Morant ended up playing through that and was still putting up some good games, but you can't say it was a fully healthy John Morant. Injuries are a part of the game. I'm not going to sit here and use injuries as an excuse and say, oh, the Lakers only got there because John Morant was injured and Steven Adams. No, I'm just saying that that's how I feel when it comes to the series. I feel like things could have gone differently, but that's all it is. It's a hypothetical thing, because it's not like the Lakers went through this crystal clear, healthy season, healthy playoff run where they didn't have any problems or didn't run through any barricades, because they went through some shit too. For their second round Warriors series, I feel like they honestly did amazing. I feel like they really played their best basketball then. They did really good at stopping the Warriors, the defending champions. They really did that. I'll give them credit on that one. But this entire playoff run, I never really saw the Lakers as a contending team. When you look at the rest of the teams that are currently in the conference finals, maybe Miami Heat has a little bit of an exception, but I feel like they've really proved themselves this year. Like this run, I feel like they have done more than the Lakers have. When you take into consideration that they're not only 3 games up on the Boston Celtics right now, but they also beat the New York Knicks, who are a great team. They beat the #1 seed Milwaukee Bucks. So I feel like you could say that it doesn't really matter who's on their team or what role players they have, because they have proved themselves. But for the Lakers, I just never really felt like what they had was enough to win a championship. And I know that sounds really hindsight-like of me to say that after they lost and after they got swept. That's just how I felt the entire time. With that being said, though, if this was the final year of having LeBron, what does this mean for Anthony Davis? There's been so much conversation about Anthony Davis having the keys to the Lakers. LeBron has tried multiple times to give Anthony Davis the keys and make him the head of the team, and he seems to kind of struggle under that pressure. We've seen Anthony Davis all playoffs long go from good game, bad game, good game, bad game, mixed out with his injury history and how reliable he is. It might just be best for the Lakers to trade him, maybe get some draft capital, and really try to rebuild something here, especially if this was your last year with LeBron James on your roster, because let's be honest, this just not happening again. They are not going through this again. Even if LeBron James stays, they're not going all the way back to the Western Conference Finals. It is just not going to happen. But with all the Lakers talk over, ladies and gentlemen, the Denver Nuggets are your Western Conference Finals champions. It felt like only a matter of time before Jokic would eventually go through and go to the NBA Finals or maybe win a championship for the first time, but they finally got over the hump, and the numbers that this man is putting up, I mean, he is competing with Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain numbers right now in the playoffs for Jokic. It is crazy. And you know, we're all going to hear about Jokic. We're all going to hear about the numbers he's putting up. We're all going to hear about his performances, but can we talk at least a little bit about Jamal Murray? Because I love seeing this guy hoop again. I feel like in the bubble, we got the small glimpse of what he could have been, went through that horrific ACL injury, and as usual, when someone goes through an injury of that caliber, everyone thinks that they're just going to come back and be bad. We heard the story about him on the team bus earlier, saying that he was damaged goods and was concerned about him getting traded. He has proved himself, and it blows my mind that we have not seen Jamal Murray be an all-star yet. I feel like injuries really damaged that, and also the bubble and everything really ruined that. But if the Denver Nuggets win a championship and Jamal Murray and Jokic are putting up the numbers they're putting up now, it won't only be Jokic in contention for one of the best centers in the world. This will be contention for one of the best duos in NBA history, because Jamal Murray putting up 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in a series in the Western Conference Finals, that is crazy shit. I don't want to compare them, but that is like Kobe and Shaq type shit. That's all I'm gonna say. So I just really feel like giving Jamal Murray all the credit that I can give, because he is really the main factor. He is the second option putting up those numbers like I just said earlier. I mean, that is just ridiculous. Now, as of now, we have 10 days until we get to see the Denver Nuggets play again, which is just insane. I don't think the NBA really expected a Celtics and Miami Heat series to be a 3-0 lead, maybe a sweep over there, and the Nuggets-Lakers series to also be a sweep. Like, they did not expect this shit. They were not ready for it, which is another reason why I want the Miami Heat to really sweep the Celtics in the series, because I want to see two very well-rested, very good, solid teams go up against each other in the finals. I don't want to see this Celtics series go to a game 7, and we have a tired-ass Miami Heat team against a really healthy vacation. Jokic probably going to Serbia or some shit on his off days. NBA finals. I don't want to see that. I know that this is controversial as well, but a Miami Heat versus Denver Nuggets finals might be one of the best NBA finals we've seen in the past couple years. I mean, the storyline is too good. Jokic trying to win his first ring to make him one of the best centers in the world with the 2 MVPs. It would put him in that conversation. Jamal Murray coming back from his ACL injury and being such a big piece in the team and winning a championship. And over Miami, you have the number 8 seed that came in through the play-in, beat the number 1 seed Bucks, beat the number 2 seed Celtics. I mean, you know their storyline very well. We've heard it all year. Them winning a championship would be like, either way, no matter how it goes, it's going to be a great storyline, and that's what I fucking love the most. I would also love to see Jimmy Butler win a ring before Joel Embiid and the 76ers, because
Mine's hairs over me.
Because that shit, I love that shit. We also can't forget about the Jokic shove to Markieff Morris, where he actually nearly almost killed him. Like, this shit could have actually ended Markieff Morris, which is crazy. But I forgot how like intense this was after the moment. Like, seeing videos of Jimmy Butler yelling like, "Come outside!" And we obviously have that one picture of like the entire Miami Heat team standing outside the locker room, which by the way is probably the hardest picture in NBA history. This is the stuff right here that I love to see. And the stupid ass conversation I see all the time on Twitter is about NBA ratings. I don't even want to entertain that conversation because it's just salty ass Celtics or Lakers fans or just fans of big markets that don't want to see other teams go in and succeed. I mean, it is just so stupid. So stupid. Grow up. We can tell that you don't like basketball. Like, do you guys not remember when it was the Warriors versus Cavs every single year, and it was to the point where you're starting to cheer for these other teams like the Houston Rockets? You're like, damn, bro, can James Harden just go and beat these guys? Because the shit was getting so boring. So boring. With that being said, I cannot wait for the NBA finals to come around, especially if it's the Nuggets versus Miami Heat. In other news, we also dropped the if I miss his jump shot, I will blank myself tee in white. So if you do want it, the link will be down below. Use code KING for 10% off. It helps me out a lot, and it's a really funny tee, so be sure to go get yourself one if you want to. They're actually really cheap. But even if you don't get a shirt, you just being here and sticking around for the entire video means the world to me. Thank you so much. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the video up on the screen if you did enjoy my content, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Later.